Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have people joining from all over Toronto, California, Texas, and even Australia. I'm Ariella Racco, CEO and co founder of CoLab Education, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today. Whether you're joining us live or just watching the recording later, welcome. We are recording this session, so for those of you who couldn't be here at this exact time, you'll still get all the good stuff. Please feel free to add your questions and thoughts in the chat throughout the session, and we'll try to respond to them either during the session or afterwards. You know what? I do have to tell you, I had so much fun putting this webinar together for you all, and I can't wait to show you some really practical solutions that you can implement as soon as tomorrow with the tools you already have, love, and have invested in, which is very important. We've got exactly 1 hour together, and I promise you we're going to make every single minute count. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. We've got some really good demos for you, success stories to share, and I think you're going to walk away with some pretty exciting thoughts for the future. So let's do this. To reiterate, today you'll gain practical strategies for maximizing your existing investments and transforming scattered tools into one strategic vehicle to get you where you want to go faster. Let me share what 13 years in education taught me. So first, schools already have great tools and amazing teachers. They just aren't connected. And second, I learned, and this is really critical, that schools either thrive or struggle based on one factor: how they build teacher capacity. And this could be through collaboration or otherwise, but this piece is very important. And I left the classroom not because I didn't love teaching, but because I saw this pattern everywhere. Brilliant teachers working in isolation, amazing resources trapped in silos, strategic initiatives failing to scale, and I knew there could be a better way. In the next hour or so, you'll discover how to drive your strategic priorities forward by building capacity through collaboration, specifically how to reduce workload through collaboration, concrete examples of successful resource sharing systems, an easy to follow approach to launching collaborative initiatives, practical ways to connect teachers across different schools, and more. These were all pulled from what people who registered to attend it shared they were looking for. And so that's where we've gone and highlighted here. But these aren't just theoretical concepts. These are strategies being used right now in schools just like yours. So I hope that they are helpful. Does this look familiar? This is Sarah. She is a grade 4 teacher. It's 9 p.m. on a Sunday. She's creating tomorrow's lesson while simultaneously searching for resources and people to help her. She's got tabs open for tools you purchased for her, like Magic School, Canva, Google, and Brisk. But she also has Facebook groups and Teachers Pay Teachers open. And she just purchased a $15 worksheet because saving time is worth $15 to her. Either you've been here or you know someone who's been here. And here's what's worse about this situation: Sarah will spend 3 hours or more, likely more, recreating what another teacher 2 schools over perfected last month. They're both working from the same curriculum, the same standards, but in complete isolation. And this isn't just inefficient, it's unsustainable. And every day that you wait to fix this, you're losing your best teachers. We know this. A quarter or so are leaving within 5 years of the profession. $18,000 minimum to replace each teacher. Thousands of hours as teachers recreate resources or try to find what they need. And you're also losing innovation that's happening, but it's trapped in individual classrooms. So let's be clear about the problem. You have brilliant teachers. You have powerful tools, great resources, and strategic initiatives. Check, check, check. But what's broken is that the connection between people and tools. Expertise is trapped in silos. Resources are scattered everywhere, and you have zero visibility into what's actually working. Now, leaders, this is a kind of a quick gut check for you. Can you answer these questions? Which teachers are innovating with AI and how? Who's struggling with literacy initiatives right now? What resources are actually being used in classrooms right now? And where is your expertise hiding? If you can't answer these immediately, don't worry, you're not alone. But imagine if you could. And here's the transformation that we're trying to offer you. So, the old way are, for example, 4 teachers working in isolation, creating the same things 4 times over. The CoLab way is a connected network where innovation spreads naturally, resources evolve collaboratively, and everyone benefits from collective expertise. So let me show you how this works in practice. Using Magic School and CoLab, you can cut planning time by 70%, I would argue even more, through resource sharing and iteration. So teacher A, for example, creates a patterns lesson in Magic School, reworking it as many times as they'd like. They copy the lesson, and then in CoLab, create a resource they can share with the community, setting the type, visibility, description, adding a title, tagging the resource for grade 4, math, and algebra, setting the curriculum, and then lastly, or almost lastly, uploading any media that they want to include, adding a banner to make it stand out visually. And now within a couple clicks, they can share this resource. So let me show you how that works. So they click it, share this resource to the grade 4 math group. I was searching for grade 4 math. And great. And they're sending that out for feedback. Now, teacher B here, a grade 4 colleague across the district, instantly gets notified. Within minutes, they can check out the resource and then create an iteration of the resource, improving and tweaking it in 200 words or less, sharing what's different. They can adjust the information to match their version, add new media. In this case, for example, they've created a Google Doc and they're creating a share a view only link. They're going to copy that link, add that media, and attach it into the lesson plan. And then publish that. At the click of a button, you can see what's different between the iterations. You can also have discussions within each resource and the iterations that are all grouped together. And you can also save it to your own collection. And so what started as a good lesson plan becomes exceptional through collaboration. And just to put this into perspective, within 1 week in a small district, 120 high quality resources were shared, 840 plus hours were saved in planning, 500 cross school connections were made, and admin got 360 degrees of visibility into all of this. And now we're going to see how Canva and CoLab can work beautifully together so you can 10x your initiatives, reach, and impact. You're probably looking to build an AI literacy framework or improve early numeracy. CoLab helps you mobilize and execute any initiative faster than ever before. And let me show you how. So in our Launchpad space, teachers can post projects and initiatives they are working on or want to kick off. So you can post a new project using our easy to fill in template, say what you're looking for, feedback, a collaborator, fill in the need to know information like grade, subject, timeline, and resources. Here you can see Janine is looking for feedback on a cooking show assessment she's working on. And there's some information there to see if it's a good match. You can also check out other projects and initiatives. See, Amara is looking for a collaborator on a community speaker series. And so I can send her a request to connect and chat directly within CoLab. Now, here's where Canva comes in. We can create a whiteboard space for all of our collaborative work using a ready-made template. This is just an example of a brainstorming space where teachers can share ideas using sticky notes. So here I'm writing in a new idea for this community speaker series. This template has been shared with teachers across different schools and districts. Up to 100 people can collaborate on whiteboards together in Canva, which is awesome. One of my favorite features is you can select all of the notes and click sort and by topic here. And Canva magically creates topics from our ideas and helps organize them into, look at this, clear categories, and it speeds up our planning process, which is pretty great. I can also comment and tag people directly into the whiteboard. So for easy one-stop communication, it's pretty great, pretty straightforward. You can react to posts. You can also return to something that you've been drafting as a comment that you're not quite finished yet, which is really, really helpful. Canva is also known for their other awesome templates, and they have so many that you can work from for collaborative projects like this community speaker series. You can even add more than one template into one whiteboard space, meaning that you could just share one link out with your collaborative team, whether that's just two people working together or more, and everything is housed in one spot. So this could be the community speaker series project space. Canva whiteboards have all the tools that you would imagine. So you can draw, you can highlight, you can erase, you can create sticky notes really easily to help organize your ideas. You can organize them, group them together. And they've got some really smart features to speed up classic and simple processes. And you can even show relationships between items really easily and clearly with their tools, which is great. Another favorite feature is that you can bring in any files and resources into your whiteboard space. So I copied a link from a Google Doc and I'm going to paste it here into this whiteboard space, and voila, I can see it right here and interact with it right here within the space. So I don't actually have to go back to the Google Doc. I can scroll through and see all the information from one view. I can do the same with a YouTube video, and I can copy the link, paste it over into my whiteboard space. I can adjust the size, move it around, and I can also comment and tag people to share their ideas. Again, all within one central whiteboard space. CoLab is the only place where innovative initiatives can be centralized like this, and educators can easily find collaborators to launch their projects. At a district level, you could also post projects and initiatives and ask for educators to have a look and join in and participate. Canva then obviously helps with all of the legwork of bringing those ideas over the finish line with their collaborative tools like the whiteboard space, which I highlighted today. Next, I want to explore how using Brisk and CoLab together can align your teachers in weeks and not years. I also want to add that all of these tools I'm selecting were based on feedback of what people are most likely using in their classrooms right now. I can run demos for even more tools if that's interesting to you, but here we're going to focus on Brisk. So this is especially powerful for new initiatives where mass adoption can be tricky and every second counts when you're trying to get them off the ground. So we're going to look at a district that wants to roll out Brisk across all 45 schools. So for example, you can create a community group in CoLab called Brisk Innovators Network to centralize all your resources, ideas, and initiatives. You can create discussions for different topics. You can edit and delete them. You can create shared resources, and you can view a members list. You can also create a new discussion in a few easy clicks. Here we go, with some customization options there. Great. Then we're going to check out the weekly Brisk Teaching Challenge discussion here. My district started to encourage teachers to try using Brisk in innovative ways and showcase their effort here. So you can tag users and resources directly into messages so everyone gets looped in and on the same page about what's going on across your district. So here you see I'm tagging people, tagging resources that are within CoLab, making it easy to click those and be directed directly there. You can also react to posts. You can flag or report content if needed. You can delete messages if needed. Now, anyone in the group will get notified about relevant activity. So here, another person is checking their notifications. Oh, what's going on in this group? Great. And now they get insight. So for this week's Brisk challenge, I'm going to take a YouTube video on the scientific method and use Brisk to create a 1 to 2 minute podcast for my grade 6 students. So there I am setting that in Brisk. And there you go. And it's created this podcast for me. A feature that I really, really love here is that you can actually edit the podcast in any way you like. So if you felt like, I wish it had this or that key idea, you can pull that over. And you can also copy the link and directly share it into CoLab so that people can go back and review the podcast and check it out. Say I also want to create a DOK questions about that same YouTube video. So Brisk enables me to do that with just a few clicks, setting my grade level and specification. So here it is, creating that document for me. Okay, so it's loading up. Here we go. And then lastly, I want to create an engaging debate activity for my students from that same scientific method video. So I'm using the boost activity. It's loading up. And now one of my favorite teacher features ever that Brisk has is you can share a template with colleagues. So you can copy a link that your template or that creates a template that your colleagues can then use, recreate, and mash up. So I'm going to share that back onto CoLab, add that link to the template I created, publish it, and I'm going to actually go back and share that into the Brisk Innovators Network group right there and share it. That way I can get feedback from others trying out Brisk in their classrooms. And if they like my template that I created, they can go ahead and use it at the click of a button. So thanks, Brisk, for making that possible. I love that feature. And it really is great for enabling really quick resource sharing and iteration within CoLab. Lastly, we're going to look into how Google's Notebook LM and Gemini tools pair with CoLab. And this can bring educators personalized PD that they are so desperately demanding. And you can do this with less top-down effort than ever before. So you can use CoLab to build really strong professional connections that will enable your educators to meaningfully engage in peer-to-peer learning and growth. That seems to be the most in-demand and popular way that teachers learn is from each other. And so we help create those connections so that they can go out and do that work. Let's check it out. So to start, you can use your school or district community feed here to highlight exciting upcoming events, initiatives, and showcase what's going on across your community. You could also create a peer coaching group where you provide information and resources. For example, you could announce that Match Week is coming up, where educators will be matched with a peer using CoLab's collaborator matching tool. So here we are in the collaborator matching tool. Educators simply set their preferences. In this case, Jacob is new to teaching phonics to grade 1 and is looking for a peer coach. He can view his matches, see why they matched at an overview level. He can also view that teacher's profile to get a sense of who they are, the resources they've created, and they can even share a direct message within CoLab to connect. Now, using Google's Notebook LM tool, you can create a personalized teaching assistant to help educators learn more. And in this case, these two teachers are working together on successful phonics implementation in their class for grade 1. These matched educators could create their own notebook, or curriculum leaders could put this together for them with strategic focus on what they're looking to do better, including all of the documents that are relevant. So policy documents, research, curriculum that's relevant to your school and district. All of these sources are pulled together and you can chat and interact with this notebook to give you answers, responses, etc. You can also see where the sources come from. So when you hover over, you can see what direct source pulled that information for you, which is really handy and helpful if you want to dive into anything further. An exciting feature that I really like is the ability to create an audio conversation from that knowledge hub that you've created. You can also jump in and ask questions. This is called interactive mode. So you can play the audio, sort of like a podcast or an audiobook, and then you can jump in and ask a question live, and the speakers will respond to you and give you feedback, again, using all that information that you filled in. You can also copy a link to share with others, which again, I think is really, really useful. And so that means that others can go about using that same tool. Now, another awesome feature that Google can use, or that you can use with Google to support personalized PD, are gems in Gemini. So similar to Notebook LM, you can add knowledge through sources and provide instructions to create a personalized coach, an instructional partner, a research assistant, or whatever you choose. So here I go. I'm going to explore some existing gems or create my own. For example, this is for phonics. I can edit what's actually put in there and provide some instructions about what I want this gem to do, what knowledge I want it to have. The only downside right now is that you can't share a link to your gems with others just yet. I believe Google is working on this, which will be really important. But instead, what you could do is you've got this great gem that you've created and you figured out how to do it. You could share in a CoLab group information with teachers on how to create gems, what they are, and encourage them to create their own for their collaborations. So CoLab really becomes the place to connect people in your community, for example, through using our collaborator matching tools. And those connections would never have been made possible without our tool. So this really helps increase your internal capacity to support different teacher growth needs all at the same time. So Google provides obviously those really powerful tools teachers can use on their own and to adjust slightly to fit their needs, but while still providing that framework and the guardrails that align with your school or your district's goals and expectations. So that combination of finding people to work with who align with your vision or your goals. So in this case, two people working together to peer coach each other for grade 1 phonics instruction, and then using Google tools like Notebook LM and Gemini and Gems to bring that personalized support all within the framework of what you care about in your school and district is really, really powerful, powerful stuff. I do also want to highlight one more important piece of the puzzle here, and that's to acknowledge that leaders, you have been flying blind throughout this process. So when it comes to understanding what is going on across your district or even just in one school, it can feel impossible to understand how everyone is progressing towards those awesome strategic goals that you set. It might feel impossible to know where people are struggling if you want to provide support, but you don't even know where those struggles lie. It can be really challenging. And it's also probably impossible to know where to highlight those exciting successes and joys that come along with all this work that you're doing, because there are awesome things happening. And I'm sure it's great for community building and morale. To just acknowledge what is going on that is so awesome and how can we bring that to share with our community. With CoLab, you will gain meaningful insights through our command center. So you will not be flying blind anymore. That teacher that is quietly revolutionizing math instruction, now you can amplify them. Or that successful AI tool implementation, now you can replicate it. So using all of this meaningful data, you can figure out what's working, what's not, and how to proceed. We are really all about accelerating your strategic goals through our collaboration platform, whatever they may be. So, in the case of a district that needed AI literacy integrated across their K 12 schools, before CoLab, they were running scattered experiments and had no visibility. But with CoLab, they were able to identify 12 expert teacher leaders using AI. They were able to create an AI explorers community and took what would have been a 6-month rollout for their 3 essential AI tools and shaved it down to 6 weeks. And they saved $120,000 they would have spent on external PD, like coaches and consultants and training and even resource creation. So don't worry, the math is actually pretty simple here. CoLab ensures that your expertise gets multiplied with less effort than ever before. So, again, before CoLab, one teacher with early numeracy expertise would impact a single classroom, maybe a handful of classrooms if they're working in small teaching teams. But now with CoLab, one teacher with early numeracy expertise impacts an entire district. And the return on your investment is clearly significant. You can 50x or more your expertise by leveraging your unique and most important asset, your people. And we know that you are super busy. So, our dedicated team of education experts provides custom onboarding, training, and support throughout whenever you need it. And we would like you to consider us your strategic partner for your next big initiative. Some quick common questions answered. Integration time. It takes 24 to 48 hours from our launch call to get you into your own private collaboration space. Works with our tools? Yes. I mean, today we've covered some of the examples. We also have Google single sign-on and Google Drive integration coming really soon, which is exciting. Security, we have enterprise level encryption, and our platform is built under the direction of our fantastic CTO, who has decades of experience building software tools for financial institutions and hospitals like Toronto General. Team lift, specifically for your tech team, 0. There is no tech expertise required to invite members into your collaborative space. And it's really quite an intuitive tool. That's all the feedback we've gotten from teachers of all ages and stages and all comfort level with technology. It's easy to use, so you won't waste time on training how to technically click the buttons and do the things. It's more about strategic planning for how this will roll out and impact your district or school on a large, massive level. And to wrap up, if I can send one message home with you today, it's that you do have brilliant teachers. So acknowledging that is really important. You have powerful tools that you've invested in. You have strategic vision. You just need connection. And that's what we can bring you at CoLab. I'd really love to take some more time to learn about your school and your district and see how we can support you leading into next school year. So please feel free to book a discovery call with me using the link or the QR code at your earliest convenience. If you have any direct questions or feedback from today's webinar, feel free to send me an email directly. I tried to actually condense this hour into a half hour for you all so you could get your time back that you so desperately need. So take that extra half hour and book a call with us so we can go over some more details with you and get to know you a little bit better. I'm really looking forward to connecting with folks beyond today and wish you a great rest of your day. So thanks for joining and see you later.